Okay, so they say call your shot. So this is me calling my shot. Before I even look into what neon is, I'm gonna take the information that I already have, right? So the first ditty was hydrogen. Hydrogen is what you looking at the light for. It's just hydrogen before the glow, and nobody really fucking knows. So okay, so where it came from, and there's truth be told, right? So I just posted one. It's neon NE10, right? Autocorrect said B. Good looking out autocorrect, just for the linguistics portion of it. And I called it semantics and antics, and it was about agility, liability. I'll look at it later, because like I said, I just sing whatever comes to mind. But like I said, calling my shot, numerology, right? 1 and 0 reduces back to the 1. What you're looking at the light for. Don't matter how pretty the colors are. Like neon, you know what I'm saying? Neon. So I'm looking at all of the pretty colors and all of that. You still looking at the light. But what about a purple light? What you looking at the light for? What if it's a blue light? What you looking at the light for? You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a red light. Be scared, be careful, be scared, be afraid. What you looking at the light for? It's just hydrogen before the glow. And nobody really fucking knows where it came from. And that's the truth to be told. So I'm up here in this situation where I got this little side gig, and it's a system, right? That's why I'm glad I started adding. I think I added the astrological sign to the tags on my videos. So that's Capricorn, it's the system. You know what I'm saying? And tarot is the devil card. So they got this system up here in place where we're being trained. All right, it's a sales position. But at the end of the day, the person with the codes, ooh, them codes. I'm glad I learned about the codes. The person with the codes has the ability to manipulate it. You know, whether we're talking about something as substantial as gene editing, or something as trivial as my little job up here where I'm not a supervisor or a manager, or I don't know enough about the system to be able to manipulate it. It doesn't matter what a person tells you. It doesn't matter what the bylaws and the ethics, I think that's a word, of the company are, what their standards and practices are. It doesn't matter. The person with the ability, the agility of manipulating the system can place liability where they want it to be placed. Whether you're talking about the ability to create a rising star, or the ability to create economy, or whatever ability it is you're talking about, an ability to create a platform like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, they know the code. They have the ability. So everything is your liability. If somebody can get in there and manipulate something, and they talking about deep fakes and all of that, to where, and I'm so throwed off, like, even when you meet a person face to face, going back to the spiritual aspect of it, is there really something I can trust too? Like, you know, like they say, let the spirit use you. Like I was growing up in church or whatever, let the spirit use you, you know, or what spirit is using you, or you got a demon in you. If you have the ability to jump in and jump out and do this and do that and do that, and no ethics to speak of, or your ethics and my ethics. Like, we ain't gonna say no ethics, because that's like that's a judgment call. When my ethics and your ethics aren't on a parallel, right? And we're talking about a hierarchical system of importance. What's important to me, what's important to you, what I consider good, bad, or unthinkable, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, still, but it all reduces back to the 1. What you looking at the light for? It's just hydrogen before the glow. And nobody really fucking knows where it came from. We get fucked up by the spectrum of things, and we say, ooh, men are so fucked up, men do this shit. I got a boss in there right now that's a female that says she got her bitches cleaning up. So it's not men that's doing it. It must be something beyond the man. It's something beyond the masculine principle. It's an ethics issue, what you will and won't do. She just call herself fussing at me because while I'm waiting on somebody to finance something that's going to wind up being under her name, because all of a sudden, you know, my login doesn't work and the only way I can get in is under somebody else's name at the computer. That's what I'm saying, knowing the system and manipulating and all of that. And it used to upset me, but now I'm looking at it like game been peep, but as the system blossoms and blooms, or my understanding of what systemic and systematic means, blossoms and blooms, I'm beginning to understand it, you know. So even where there's manipulation in play, okay, I'm being manipulated on either hand. So we got a white female and a black male. They both the supervisors, and we still got a hierarchy of system. I don't understand the system at all because I'm new. There's certain things I can do and I can't do by being new, and also not being a boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm a worker. Yeah, you're a boss, I'm a worker. But everybody getting their check signed by somebody. Everybody is relying on somebody else to make sure that their bottom line is what the fuck it's supposed to be. And we have the ability. We have the agility. And we have the liability. Capricorn comes in. The devil comes in. Systems come in where they take advantage of everything and find a way to place the liability back upon the individual. I had an issue at one time. The state sent me a check, right? And I was like, what is this check for? I called and it was like, well, darling, if the state sent you a check, they owe it to you. I was like, okay. I cashed it, did what I needed to do with it. And they called me about a month later. And they was like, yo, we need you to pay for this money. And I told her, I said, when I was 16, I was working at, can I say it? Fuck it, that's my life. That's where I was working. I was working at Taco Bell. And Kei-Kei Industries, I think they just recently got bought out by somebody else, but they used to be Kei-Kei Industries, you know. And my drawer came up short because somebody drove off, you know what I'm saying, with the food and all of that. And I already cashed that. I was finna reach for the money, and they drove off and they took it out of my check. And I'm like, at 16 years old, I'm liable for my own mistakes. And you want me to be so understanding because you made a mistake, and you want that to be my liability too. So I'm held liable at entry level. I'm held liable at, you know, at each and every level because you say I'm liable. But where does your liability come in at? When you are the implementer of a system, or you are the administrator of a system, anything that has to do with that along those lines, you could place liability wherever you want to place liability at. And most people, unless they have extremely ethics, we're going to say God shit. You know what I'm saying? God in the sense of a good God. Like your boy, who was B.O.B. beefing with? Neil. Is it Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is that who's the scientist? I think that's him. The hip hop scientist. Well, he ain't hip hop scientist, but you know he got a little funky groove to him. But you know they was beefing talking about flat Earth, and Earth is actually an oblate sphere and all of that, and this, that, and the third. I went off on a tangent right there, and I kind of lost my frame of mind. But anyway. It probably don't even need to be picked up again, because what you're looking at the life for is just the system. You know what I'm saying? It don't none of that matter. None of that matters. What matters is how you play the game. Fuck the rules. And, you know, the means by which we get to things, and, you know, the hierarchy of system and all of that. What really manifests itself is the intention with which we do a thing, right? I think that speaks to the coronavirus and every other thing that goes on. Intentions show, you know. You're not just going to be able to build any old system without taking any liability on yourself. If it's not equalized, or if it's not equality based, or if it doesn't have care, consideration, and mutual respect among all elements, things fall out of balance very quickly. And then it's just a race to see who the liability is going to be on. But then after you get through placing blame, it still doesn't matter, because we still have the issue that hasn't been solved, you know. And I guess we're going to be right here in this bowl known as planet Earth until we get that. Until we get it, you know. Man, I shudder to think how long it's gonna take. But yeah, I'm calling it. Neon 10, You're looking at the light, folks. It's right back to the one. Later.